Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, let's talk some boxing. You're watching What You Need.
So, you have to understand these things. In the case of Brandon Rios versus Manny Pacquiao made him look stupid. I'm not going to lie to you. And he busted up his eyes. And that's just because Manny Pacquiao is just that much faster than him as well. Manny Pacquiao is a very, very quick fighter. And he's a very fast fighter. So, what you saw was just basically Manny Pacquiao pot-shotting Brandon Rios, catching him with feints. You know, he'd feint as if he's going to throw a jab, and he would throw the straight left, you know, and you catch him with certain things. But Brandon Rios, for the most part, was defensively responsible during that fight. He was just a little slow. Pacquiao didn't catch him with really anything to the body much. It was beautiful pot-shotting by Pacquiao. He looked like Floyd in there, man. It's just beautiful stuff. Then he faced Diego Chavez, like I said. Diego Chavez, that fight, I thought Chavez was winning it. But he got disqualified. And he got that win over him. And then he refaced Mike Alvarado. And he avenged his loss. Mike Alvarado going through a number of tough fights. And this one was just one too many, I guess, for his body. Back to back. And losses as well. And he just, you know, he couldn't come out in the third round. Beautiful, sharp execution, though, by Brandon Rios. Wonderful work. So, Brandon Rios will be facing Timothy Bradley. So, I want to set the record straight about Brandon Rios. This is what Brandon Rios really is. He's a very, very good inside fighter. Okay? Uses his jab to get on the inside. I hope that Brandon Rios, when he's facing Timothy Bradley, will use his jab also to sort of keep range on Bradley. To kind of keep Bradley off of him. And if you can, use some boxing on the back foot. Try and box Bradley on the back foot. Make Bradley come in on him. And then counter and use his inside game to beat on Bradley a bit. I think if Brandon Rios could just alter his game a little bit. Just change up his game. You don't always have to apply pressure all the time. Sometimes you let the guy come to you. You know, just mix up the game a little bit. I think it's going to be great. He could fight Bradley in the center of the ring. Sometimes he can fight Bradley against the ropes. Sometimes he can back Bradley up. If Brandon Rios mixes up his game a bit, he's going to have a better chance of beating Bradley in there. Timothy Bradley is he's an exceptionally good boxer. Okay, so if Bradley decides he's going to box Brandon Rios for 12 rounds, you know, it doesn't matter what Brandon Rios does. You know, he's going to get beaten. You know, because if Bradley decides to go pot shotting Brandon Rios, it's over. But if Brandon Rios can give Bradley a couple different looks in there, because Brandon Rios has some boxing skill. If he gives Bradley some different looks in there, he could actually win this fight, okay, against Timothy Bradley. Because Bradley's not going to be expecting him to do certain things. But basically, if Bradley fights smart, he wins this fight. He chooses when to bang. He chooses when to pot shot. He chooses when to have Brandon Rios chasing him down. He's going to win this fight hands down. Now, if he doesn't do that and he tries to bang with Brandon Rios, he really risks the chance of getting knocked down and probably even stop later on in the fight. Knowing Timothy Bradley, he likes to brawl. You know, Timothy Bradley might just, you know, he might just throw away this fight because of doing something stupid. So, I mean, Brandon Rios definitely has a chance in there. This is going to be an action-packed fight. I'm looking forward to it. Because of the attitude of Timothy Bradley, I think this fight is going to be a little bit more difficult for Timothy Bradley than it should be. And I think Brandon Rios is definitely going to take advantage of the opportunities. So, at the end of the day, of course, I would love to see Brandon Rios versus Ruslan Provodnikov. That's a fight where I know nobody's going to take a step back. Brandon Rios has a lot of machismo. He's a typical Mexican fighter in the sense that he does not take a step back. He could box going backwards, but that's not his mindset. That's not his style. He's gonna come bring the rain. But if he mixes up his game, see, this is the thing with these boxers. They need to fight smart as well as hard. You want to knock out a guy, take a step back. Don't have all that pride where you have to be walking down the fighter all the time. No, let him take a step back. Let him come to you, set a trap, and get on the inside like Roberto Duran. And work him on the inside. You know what I mean? So if Brandon Rios boxes reasonably smart, he's going to give Timothy Bradley a lot to think about. And especially if he uses his jab, because he has a decent jab that he uses to get on the inside. Now use your jab and step backwards with it. Let Bradley have to make up more ground. Bradley's probably going to be the shorter guy in there. Let him make some ground. Let him have to work to get on the inside. And when he gets on the inside, that's your forte. That's your strength. Beat him up on the inside. Let him know who's the boss on the inside. You know, because Bradley's going to have to find a way to get on the inside of Brandon Rios. He's going to have to come to Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios is stupid and he decides, I'm coming to Timothy Bradley. Now he's making the fight harder for himself. Because Bradley don't have to work to get on the inside. Make Bradley work to get on the inside. So, like, I don't know. These boxers, they have to use their smarts in there. You know, yes, you're a kind of one-dimensional fighter. He's expecting you to come to him all the time. Don't give him what he expects all the time. Mix it up. Let him come to you sometimes. When you get him hurt, come to him and do what you do best. So anyway, we'll see what Brandon Rios does in this fight. I think Brandon Rios also has a bit of decent counterpunching skills as well. I've seen him in his fights before. I'm just hoping that he would use more of his repertoire and his versatility. Yes, still bring the pain to Timothy Bradley. Still come at him. Yeah, sure. No problem. You know, I know you have a good chin. I know you have a pretty decent defense. But you also need to think intelligently. You don't always have to take a step forward and always be front foot heavy. You know, you have to also think about, if this guy, I can't chase him down, then I need him to come to me. If he's that fast, I need him to come to me. You know, and that's things that Brandon Rios, you know, he needs to understand. If he was fighting Manny Pacquiao, you can't chase the dude down. Then do like Danny Garcia and stand in the center of the ring and say, come to me. Exactly. And if the guy want to dance around on the outside, he ain't going to win no. He's not going to win the fight by dancing on the outside. He has to come at some point in time. He has to pot shot you at some point in time. So when he's coming to pot shot you, that's when you change gears, use your jab, and get on the inside. So, I mean, like, I don't know. Boxing is a mental sport. And if you just use a little bit more intelligence, I like how, for instance, Andre Berto fought Floyd Mayweather. He was using his intelligence to push Floyd Mayweather back with his jab. He was getting Floyd Mayweather into corners, but even though you get Floyd in a corner, doesn't mean you're going to land on him. So he had to work out that logistics, how he was going to get to land on Floyd. He did catch Floyd in trades. That's what Brandon Rios needs to do. You slower than him. So you got to time Timothy Bradley. You got to time him when he's coming in. You got to be like Eric Morales. You got to time these guys. You're not fast like them. You need them to come to you. You need them to work on your terms. You need to fight on the inside. So you have to let them, they have to come to you. You have to make them come to you. You're not going to win the fight by going to them all the time. You have to go to them sometimes and apply the pressure. Don't get me wrong. But you have to also let them come to you, because you don't know how to approach them at different angles. You don't know all of that. You come straight on. So forget all of that, and sometimes you need to let them get comfortable. Let them think that they're landing shots on you, and you counterpunch them. So, like, these guys got to use their heads. You bring in the pressure, yes. Sometimes you have to back off the pressure, reset, because you can't cut off the ring on a guy that's that quick. And get back to the center of the ring. Let him come to the center of the ring, and then ambush him and push him back to the ropes. You got to use your brain. You know, Roberto Duran, he wasn't good at cutting off the ring, but he knew if he could get a guy to think that he could hit him, then he could counter the guy. You know another guy who did that? Manny Pacquiao is a guy who makes you feel that you can hit him, and then he gets to counter you. And then Aaron Pryor was another dude. You think you could land a whole set of shots on him, but he's really wiggling out of the way of them shots, and then he gets to counter you because he don't have to worry about range, because you close the distance thinking you could land a whole bunch of shots on him. So I'm just saying that that's what Brandon Rios has to do. You have to use your brain to let these guys think that you're a punching bag, because everybody thinks Brandon Rios is a punching bag. All right, cool. I'm going to roll with that. You think I'm a punching bag? You think you can get free shots, and then boom! You know, you land a shot on them. You know what I mean? That's what Brandon Rios needs to do. You guys have a great